What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. If you have not yet met, my name is Johnny Nitafan. I'm a life insurance agent, and in this video, I'm going to be revealing my $50,000 per month in sales life insurance telesales script. And if you follow this script, if you implement this is what helped me sell over $700,000 of life insurance premium completely over the phone. This is what allowed me to have a 40% close rate across all one call closes. Typically it was 60 to 70% towards the end of the year. And in this video, I'm going to be revealing everything so that you can make more money, ultimately feed your family, and make more money and more profit in your life insurance business. By the way, if you want the same exact script, go to the little description down below, apply to my free school community where we're doing private community calls. We're going to do support calls. I'm going to be personally helping you guys scale to the next level. I want to invest in you guys and help you guys to really get to 0 to 20,000 a month. We're going to be getting Max's case study where he went from did 19K on less than $1,000 of self-generated ad spend. You're going to get this script. You're going to get all the word tracks that I use to overcome objections, and much more. So looking forward to seeing you guys in there, plus networking with like-minded individuals so that you can scale your life insurance business. But without further ado, let's just get right into the video. And by the way, if you haven't subscribed, subscribe down below, and so you guys won't miss another video. But this is my 50,000 a month telesales script. So the first part is very important. The opening line is everything, right? So hey John, hey John, yeah, it's just Johnny. I was giving you a quick call back here in regards to the requests you sent in on Facebook for the new state regulated life insurance programs in Arizona. And you listed your beneficiary as Heather, is that right? And so in this, you're wanting to act very curious. You're having a curious tone in this, and just asking, and like the uhs and like these are scripted. I know exactly what I'm going to say and how I'm going to say it, but you're using that tonality in here so that you can be curious and bring their guard down. That's the whole goal of this part, but also very warm and welcoming. Okay, so you say that, and then if they give you objections, I'm going to give you guys a sneak peek into just like the objection word tracks and like my top 10 objections that you're going to get. But right here, your power phrase, especially right when they answer the phone, and if they give you an upfront objection, a lot of times it's smoke screen. So I just go straight through it and I just keep going. I loop back around. It's all about looping. But when they just call, hey, perfect, that's exact. Like if they say an objection, if they give you an objection and a reason why they haven't, like, they already got it taken care of, or I already filled that out, or even I'm not interested anymore, you're going to use this power phrase. Perfect, that's the exact reason for my call. Awesome, that's the exact reason I'm calling. Perfect, that's why I'm calling. And then from there, you're going to loop back around, answer the question, right? When you're getting an objection right at the front end, I just push through it. If I get it again a second time, then I answer it and I just loop back around and ask it again. But if I get it a third time, I actually have to handle the objection. So at first, just kind of push through it. Second time, answer it, acknowledge it, and move forward. Third time, you actually have to handle the objection, right? So awesome, and they're like, yes, okay, awesome. And I guess, were you looking for anything specific, or just kind of wanted to go over all your options? And they'll say, I just wanted to go over all my options. Perfect. And were you looking just to cover your final expenses, or possibly leave a little extra for the family? And they'll answer. This is just kind of fact-finding, getting them bought in to the call, right? The first part of this call is so that you can kind of fact-find a little bit, but more importantly, to get them engaged on the phone. And you have to be very quick and be the professional here, right? And then, did you have any coverage in place currently, or not yet? Okay, great. Now, let me kind of explain how this works. It's actually really simple. I'm a state licensed underwriter here in Arizona, and my job is basically to let you know what options you actually qualify for based on your age or and health and what you might be eligible for, and to actually shop around all the carriers and coverages here just to see which one will give you the most accurate rate. Does that make sense? Awesome. And just so you know, everything is non-medical, so there's no doctors coming out to the house. I'm actually going to get you some answers here over the phone, okay? Awesome. So now to see what options you qualify for, just to make sure we're giving you the most accurate rate, Miss Betty. Are you a nicotine user of any kind? No? Okay. And so in medical, you're going to get all the medical qualifications. You're going to see what exactly they do qualify for. Most importantly, you want to build rapport in this and show that you are the professional, show that you're actually a person too, and care for them. Be empathetic. The things that we're going to be talking about in this next topic in the medical questions and underwriting sometimes can be embarrassing. So that's why you want to ask these questions and do a great job of this. And so the way that we actually medically underwrite is insurance toolkits. So this is where we go. So when I'm asking these questions, okay, are you a nicotine user of any kind? And you don't plan on starting now, do you? They say no. Awesome. And what's your birthday? It's 1954. And so it'll pull everything up, and then you get quote, and then it'll pop up exactly what they might qualify for with all the carriers. So that's what's really cool about that. And that's how we medically underwrite. So when I'm asking all these questions, I'm going in there and it just spits out what they actually will qualify for, and so on and so forth. So, and the pricing, which is really cool. So you can actually see, just put all the information in one place and it actually spits out the exact quotes. What's your date of birth? And how tall are you these days, Miss Betty? 5'10", good deal. And now don't sign me through the phone here, but how light are you? So you want to get them to laugh, right? You want to get them on your side. In this, you want to show that you are the professional. You want to gain trust. Like you're gaining trust here, and then you cement it. Like this is emotionally getting trust, and then you cement it with logic after this, right? In the credibility part. Are we taking any medications these days? Okay, not a problem. And if they say yes, like I'm on like 12 of them. Okay, not a problem. Go ahead and grab those and let me know when you're ready. I just need the first 3 letters of those. And if they push back, no problem. And go ahead and grab a pen and paper and spell out the first few letters just to make sure we're giving you the most accurate rate. And then, and if they push back again, they're probably not serious. And then keep asking questions, right? You want to dig deep in here. Ask individual questions. I used to not medically underwrite well, and I used to just ask all the questions at the same time. Or like, hey, have you had any cancer, strokes, heart attacks, or high blood pressure? And all they hear is the last and first part. They don't hear any of the middle part. So right here, you want to like go in. Hey, anything happening with the heart? Any stints? And you just want to get yes, no's on all these. How are lungs working these days? Any asthma or COPD? Have you ever been prescribed an inhaler? How's our blood flowing? Any high blood pressure? If so, how many? It'll show like exactly what it is and what happened there. Any form of cancer? If so, what kind? When was the treatment date? Did it spread to other parts? Was there ever a recurrence? Any history of diabetes? And so on and so forth. So you want to get in the nitty gritty and get everything right here. Any overnight surgeries, hospital stays, and just see if you qualify. And so this is the very end of the medical underwriting. And just see if you qualify for a savings plan. You do have an active checking account, correct? And they say yes. Get it if they have a direct express card or an active checking account here. Don't go super into detail, but you want to make sure that they actually have, Now, that is the medical underwriting part. That's how you know exactly what product you're going to put them in later. Now, getting credibility. Go ahead and grab a pen and paper. So you want to be very assumptive. The number one way I know that I can close somebody and I can actually help them and their family is by them willing to be led. If they're willing to be led, I know I can help. So like I say, go ahead and grab a pen and paper. Let me know when you're ready. Just need to write a couple things down here for me. This is part of the trial close. them doing this, it's just micro yeses to be able to get to that ultimate yes that we want. But this is just them being willing to be led by us, which is huge. Okay, go ahead and grab write down my name. My name is Johnny, Johnnny, and my state producer number is XYZ. So with that number, you can actually go to the Department of Insurance website and find me. That way you know who I am and that my license is active, okay? Just super important you know who you're speaking with here, is I'll be your agent for life. And my direct line, by the way, is this, XYZ. Awesome. So now we got that. Now we got credibility. Now we know exactly what product we're going to be putting them in. Now it's time to get down to the nitty-gritty. And these why questions, peeling back the onion, is the most important part of the script. So you want to pay close attention. Take notes right here. Exactly what to do. Get a pen and paper and write these things down. Take notes. So kind of, I guess, walk me through, right? What kind of got you motivated to start looking for life insurance? What's kind of the main concern? And very curious here, but also concerned and empathetic for them and their situation, their family. You want to find exactly why they're here. Why did they go and fill out the ad online? Then they go, they go through, they start texting you in the with the AI bot. Why'd they go to, they actually answered the phone. They've been on the call for this long. They gave you all the medications and they wrote down all their name and your number and state producer number. Why did they go through all that? What's kind of the main concern here, right? So that's why we want to figure it out, right? And were you looking to go more down the traditional burial route or more kind of the cremation route? And who would your beneficiary be if something, God forbid, were to happen to you? Okay. And now this next part, if they're kind of staying surface level and they haven't given you a ton, or if they've already been emotional, they've already shared their why, this part right here is going to cement the whole sale for you. So can I be, I guess, transparent with you here for a second? Your family's lucky to have somebody like you. Like a mother like you that's just thinking ahead. And it sounds like if anything were to happen, you just want to make sure that they'd be taken care of and they could be prepared. And I talk to a lot of people, and some people just really don't mind acting like this stuff just doesn't exist and they don't even want to think about it. You know what I mean? And can I ask, how come this is so important to you? And then they'll actually share with what it is, right? They'll actually share, because when you ask somebody how come this is important to you or why is this important to you, all of a sudden you're defending that, you're owning that. So this is another trial close. This is another step in the right direction, getting them to say yes to our ultimate goal. So when you ask them, how come this is so important to you? Right? If it's the same thing if I were to ask you how come you like the blue shirt so much? All of a sudden you're going to give me reasons why you do. So the same thing here. How come this is so important to you? Plus you're setting the frame and changing their identity to being a loving and caring and kind person, so that because of that they are going to act that way later in the call. So again, it's just another trial close here. So correct me if I'm wrong. Looks like if anything were to happen to you now, it would be a little stressful. But what I'm hearing is having coverage in place would really allow them to be taken care of when that time does come. Is that kind of what I'm hearing, or am I missing anything? And then and I guess, are they in a position to pay for the burial or not yet? This is cementing exactly what they just said, backing it up with logic. You got the emotion part, now it's figuring out with logic why that's the case. Are they in a position? Okay. And I'm sure that you'd agree with me, having at least something in place would be better than having nothing, right? And they say yes, because this right here is our trial close again. So this is setting us up for the downsell, so that if they ever say that it's too expensive, having something in place would be better than having nothing, right? Yes, okay. So if we could find something inside your budget and was able to make sure your final expenses were paid for, Is there anything holding you back to see if we could even get you qualified? So like this is a question where you're going to get objections that come up. You're going to get objections that surface. And so they're going to say, they might say, I'm going to talk to my daughter. Or like you might get objections here, and that's the goal, because the number one rule of sales, do not close and do not present numbers if you know you can't close and really help them in their situation. So obstacles are way easier to overcome than objections. And I'm going to say it again. Obstacles are way easier to overcome than objections. So in this, if they get so here's the difference, right? And I can make a whole nother video on this. If you guys want me to, drop in the comments and let me know. Obstacles versus objections, let me know. But in this right here, when you say, and you say like, hey, is there anything holding you back to see if we can even get you qualified? This is before the close. This is before you present numbers. Obstacles are anything that you get on the front end. It's way easier to overcome those because you guys are walking side by side. You guys are on the same path. You guys are next to each other. Okay? It's easier to overcome obstacles because they feel like you're acting in their best interest, right? And you are. And you're on their side. But right when you ask the close question, right when you present numbers, right when you do that, all of a sudden, it's human nature, it's the distance. So now it's you versus them, objection handling at this point. So the reason why overcoming obstacles are way easier than overcoming objections, and that's why these questions right here, the trial close, are huge, because you're actually on their side still. They actually trust you more. But once you ask the close question, then you're at objections. Then it's you versus them. Then it's you guys kind of like figuring it out together, but it's still objection handling at this point. So it's way easier to overcome objections or obstacles, right? It's way easier to overcome obstacles when you guys are on the same path, when you guys are on the same side of the table before the close, because they actually trust you more. So just make sure that when they get here and if they give you something here that they feel like is holding them back, overcome that obstacle. If you guys can't move forward together and you can't move forward past an obstacle together, then don't pitch and don't sell, because they're not going to buy. So overcoming obstacles is way easier than overcoming objections, because you're on their side and they still feel like you're the friend. Then you turn not into the enemy, but you're just against them now. There's separation that happens. So just know that right here. Now, establishing affordability. This is something that I started implementing, and my close rate went way higher because I was able to frame the conversation in a way to be able to actually make them affordable and make it comfortable for them, and also get again on their side of the table, right? So Ms. Sally, just so you know, I actually specialize with working with people on very low and fixed incomes, right? Like Social Security, disability, and things like that. Would you say you're kind of in that spot too? Yes. Okay, great. And between you and me, that's probably why they got you over to me, because I actually helped get the most affordable plans here in Arizona. Okay. And speaking of affordability, right? Like, what's kind of a good, kind of comfortable number for you monthly, right? Like, even in a tight month, is that like $150 or $100 or $75 or $200 or $250? Like, what's kind of a good, kind of comfortable number for you, even in a tight month? And they're going to answer you. They're going to tell you exactly what it is and how much it actually can be, right? And this is not a deal killer, but this will give you really good insight into what exactly is going to be a good number for them. This will allow you to frame the conversation the right way. So now that you have that number, now that say that it's $100 on, okay, not a problem. So and I'm gonna be like keeping that in the back of my head, right? And I'm gonna show that as the middle number. So whatever they say, I'm gonna show that as the middle number. And so on and so forth. So while I let my system calculate rates here, and this allows you to buy some time, I do want to share some of the features and actual benefits of your policy. They're actually getting this with Great Western Insurance Company. They've been around for a while now, and they've never missed a payout claim. Okay. super reputable company. Now, your policy is actually a permanent whole life plan, which simply means the rate, which I'm about to go over with you, is never going to change, and the coverage will actually always stay the same. Okay, it's never going to decrease. Now, does that make sense? And each of these, you want to get a micro equipment. Are you with me? Does that make sense? Awesome. And the policy actually builds cash value every single year as well. So down the road, if you're ever in a tight spot, you do have access to these funds, okay? Now, most importantly, it actually pays out to your beneficiary within 24 hours so they can have funds on hand. And here's the most important part, okay, of the coverage is that there's no waiting periods, okay? So right when I go into that, I share the features, I share the benefits. Each part of these features and benefits are the solution to their why questions. Why are they looking for this? We're the solution if they're wanting to leave a generational legacy. This is what this policy is going to do for them. If they're just looking to cover the burial, this is what the policy is going to do for them. Whatever they say in the why questions, that's why we fact find. You want to implement and reinforce how it's going to solve their problem. The policy is the policy. The face amount is the face amount. What is it actually going to do for them specifically? What were you, like a good question I always ask, what were you hoping this life insurance to do for you and your family? Ideally, were you looking to cover the burial, leave a little extra, cover the car payments, cover the house? Like, what were you looking for this policy to do for you? And anything they say, you take that information and in here you back it up. This is why it's here for. Bang, 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 bang. This is why it's here. To cover the burial, so that your kids aren't having to pay for it, so they're not having to come out of pocket for it, so that it's the most important feature is that it's immediate coverage, so your kids aren't having to get a GoFundMe. So all the reasons why they said why they're looking for this, you're reinforcing it and using, hey, this is exactly why this part of the policy is here to cover this, to make sure that your kids aren't having to go scramble, so that they have funds right away, so they're not having to start a GoFundMe, so they're not having to go beg, right? This is how you begin to reinforce and solidify how much they need this product and them feeling the likelihood of the success of the policy. That's what you want. You want to reinforce that. Now, Masali, I've been doing this long enough to know that when somebody says, like, I want to think about it, it just typically means the numbers are just a little too high, okay? So if that's the case, can you just let me know and we can try to find another solution for your coverage? There's no hard feelings there. So you want to give them a back door, give them a let them off there. But then also what you want to do here is just straight up overcome and think about it. You want to nail it head on, because that's the biggest objection you're probably getting in your business right now is that. So make sure that you have this dialed in. All right, so from here, you want to pitch numbers and you want to make them agree and make sure that there's hesitance, like no hesitancy. Again, this is another killing zombies question. This is another gathering all the info and making sure that everything's taken care of. This is another overcome the obstacles, right? So you explain the numbers, right? So my presentation, I could do another presentation if you guys want down below. Let me know in the comments if you guys want me to go deeper into this. But the way I present numbers is I present the max option, give them a let off. Hey, Miss Sally, this is super expensive. Most of my clients don't even touch this number, but this is our $300 a month plan. It's for $50,000. It's the max you qualify for. And then I share the other three options. Now, and I share the things that are actually in their budget, a stretch number, a number that they said they're comfortable with, and a lower number. And then right when I present those numbers, you want to re-explain exactly what it's going to do. So when you're presenting, hey, this is what it's going to do for you. It's going to cover your burial. It's going to make sure your kids, it's reinforcing exactly up there what you say up here. Hey, this one's going to cover just your burial. This one's going to cover the burial and leave a little extra. And then the third one will actually leave you a generational legacy for you and your family. Okay. Now, and so right after I present numbers on the last plan, now, Masali, before we even take a look at these numbers, let me kind of explain how this process works. So even if we were to pick the most expensive option, right, the $100,000 plan, and put a gun to my head and said, Johnny, give me this option now, I couldn't even do it for you. Life insurance isn't something you can just buy. You actually have to qualify. for it. And all we can literally do at this moment is actually pick a number that's comfortable for you, and then 3 things can happen during that underwriting process. Now, the first thing that can happen is we submit the application and the underwriters instantly decline us. It's not the end of the world because we do have access to all the A-rated carriers, but we would have to go back to the drawing board. Now, the second thing is that they counteroffer. This typically means they'll change the price slightly, but again, we would have to go back to the drawing board. Now, the third thing is that they approve us. If they approve you, you'll hear from me via text or call, and the carrier, like Great Western, will actually print everything out to you and mail it directly to your house. Now, this is what I absolutely love about the state of Arizona is we actually have up to 30 days to make any necessary final changes to your policy upon approval. So say if you wanted to go up in coverage, you can definitely do that. But most importantly, if you wanted to go down in coverage, you can still do that as well. So what's awesome is you're going to have plenty of time to talk about it, think about it, pray about it. Just don't fight about it, okay? And so in this closed question, side note, this is, you want to alleviate the pressure and take that out of the room and like just laugh about it, right? Awesome. So from those 3, kind of 4 options that I shared with you there, Miss Sally, which one would you feel most comfortable with leaving behind for your family? Go ahead and circle that one. And so then I just tell them to circle that one. Then after that one, I'm like, okay, now which one did you choose? And they said, okay, I picked this one. Okay. Now, I have 2 quick questions for you, right? Is that a comfortable number even in a tight month? Like even if the car goes out, even if the refrigerator goes out, is that number going to be comfortable and inside your budget month in and month out? Yes or no? They say yes. Awesome. And last thing, is this most importantly going to give you the peace of mind that you've been looking for, knowing you, God forbid something were to happen to you, your family is going to be taken care of and the burial is going to be paid for you? Or how do you feel? Yes. Awesome. Now go into the app. Just need to ask you a few more quick questions, see if you qualify. What's your full legal name? And boom, you want to go just straight into there. No more questions. Take the order, right? But you just want to make sure that this is smooth and actually mapped out exactly step by step by step. This is choreographed. You know exactly what to say and how to say it so that you're able to get them into the app and you just keep moving forward and keep momentum. Once you get them approved, once you get the policy issued, give them all the evidence that they need. Give your number, give the policy number. That's why it's important to get an approval, because these people think they're getting scammed all the time. You want to give them evidence so that they know that they did protect their family. Set expectations of exactly when the policy is going to be out and sent out to them and to their house. Now, last thing here, and before I get into this, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and also apply to the school community if you found this valuable so far, because I'm giving you guys, this is the same exact script. I'm giving you the word tracks I'm going to be implementing. I'm helping you guys implement so you guys can scale your business faster without having to sacrifice time with family and like allow you to actually make money in this industry. So I'm going to be supporting you guys for free. Click the link down below and join my private school community. So the last thing here to promise close is, so after you've gotten everything done, everything solidified, awesome. So would you agree, Miss Sally, that I made a ton of promises to you today? And list all them out. I've promised you that the rate's never going to change. The coverage will always stay the same. That you and your family are going to be taken care of. God forbid something were to happen to you. That the policy is going to pay out within 24 hours. That I'm going to be there for you day in and day out, month in and month out. I'm going to make sure that your family is protected when that time does come. I just need you to make me 2 promises, okay? The first one is, if God forbid something were to happen to you 5, 25, even 10 years down the line, I need you to call me, okay? Due to a life event, I need you to call me, right? Due to a life event is huge to say. The worst thing you can do is up and cancel the policy, because you'll lose all the equity that you've built into it. And that'd be crazy, right? There's things that we can do in the future to make it more affordable, but we agree it's affordable and fits inside your budget today, right? They say yes. Awesome. Now, the second thing is there are thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of life insurance agents out there soliciting business. And that's completely okay. You're probably going to get called in the future. And if the agent says, oh, I can get you a better rate, I mean, I want you to entertain the conversation and simply get a quote. And I'll tell you if it's better, if it is. And I'll even do the paperwork if it is a better plan. Does that sound fair? Yes, but if it's not, I'll actually tell you why it's not better. And I'll actually do the paperwork to get you. I'll tell you why it's not better. I'll be happy to three-way the other agent while you're on the phone and explain exactly why it's not better. Okay. So this is a complete telesales script, the $50,000 a month that helped me go from zero, like broke, to actually making money in this industry. I want you guys to make money as well in your life insurance business. Again, I built the school community so that you guys can have a community of people. If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. It's a mastermind, it's a group, so we can scale faster together. Most importantly, that you guys can have the money in your life and your business that you got into this business for. I make these videos so that you guys can be successful, so that you guys can scale way faster than I ever did. It took me almost a year to be able to do these same things, and this took a lot of mixing and a lot of trial and error and figuring out exactly how to implement these strategies in my business. But once I did it, I started making 30, 40, 50,000 a month. So I want you guys to be successful. I make these videos so you guys can win. Ultimately, share this with a friend if you found it valuable. Like and subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.